2, 3, Iche, Ni, Sun, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What's that one?
German.
Then what's 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, you just kept counting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How many languages can you count to 3 in?
Oh my God, we've done this like on 8 podcasts, Bob.
How many languages can you say hello in?
God, you are the Dory of drag.
How many languages can you say hello in?
I don't know. Hello. Hola.
English, Spanish.
Hello.
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
You're like, but I can say it.
Yeah, I don't know what language it is.
What's that one? Drunkenese. Drunkish.
How many can you say?
Hello.
Bonjour.
Hola. Bonjour. Konnichiwa. Jumbo.
Where's Jumbo?
Swahili.
Really?
Yeah.
How you know that? Orlindy taught you?
Who?
Orlindy?
Nar. When I was in school, we had a very short Swahili lesson. And like when we were studying worlds or like places of the world, we did a little bit of Swahili for some reason.
Does Swahili really have clicks in it? Or is that like
Swahili is not the language of clicks. To my knowledge. Can you Google that, Jacob? But to my knowledge, there are languages in Africa.
Oh, yeah, for
sure. There are dialects and languages in Africa that do have clicks, but Swahili is not one of them.
But everyone always says Swahili. And I'm like, does it?
No, Swahili. Actually, I think it might have some clicks because there are clicks. Do you know all the Swahili in The Lion King is written by Lebo M?
By who?
Lebo M.
Who's Lebo M?
He's a musician. He's a composer. And everyone's like, Elton John wrote Lion King, which, yeah, sure. But you know, the most famous, like, Elton John didn't write that. He also didn't write Na Sing Bonya Mabagi Sibaba. Are there clicks in Swahili? There are no clicks. He also wrote what's the
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. He wrote basically all of the ones that everyone's like always singing.
Do you know the entire language in Avatar is made up?
Same with Klingon.
Yeah. It's
Klingon.
completely made up. Like they made it up completely for the movie.
Yeah. They wrote an entire language for Klingon.
I want to like learn Avatar. Can you imagine if we spoke Avatar?
You know, I've been thinking about learning a new language.
Ole natu kameu. Ole natu kameu.
Is that a line from Avatar?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about, there are people who know Klingon.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because the Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek people are wild.
They're called Trekkies.
Trekkies are wild.
You know, MLK was a Trekkie.
Who?
MLK.
Was he really?
Martin Luther King was a Trekkie. Yeah. Martin Luther King notoriously had a conversation with what's her name from Star Trek? I'm not a Trekkie. The black lady.
Whoopi Goldberg?
No, she's the black lady from Star Trek.
Whoopi Goldberg.
No, not her. A different, much older.
Cicely Tyson.
Nichelle Nichols. He famously had a conversation with Nichelle Nichols. He was like, you know, you have to, like, it's so important that you're on this show and you have to continue with this work because it is important for us to be seen, represented in many places.
I love that.
He was like, live long, and he apparently said, live long and prosper. So apparently MLK was a Trekkie.
Wow.
But I was trying to learn Swahili for a little while. I got Rosetta Stone, and I got the Swahili version.
Duolingo is so much better, so much more convenient.
This was years ago. This is probably before Duolingo. This is like I was 22 years old. And I also was in Mexico recently, and I was like, I took 4 years of Spanish, and I was able to converse with people and like make it through the wilderness. You know, I made it through. But I wish I spoke more.
Should we call Pixie Aventura and see if she can say stuff, and if we can understand what she's saying, and we'll have like a little test.
I mean, as long as it doesn't feel exploitative to our dear friend.
I'm gonna ask her. Pixie and I do this all the time, actually.
Patricia.
Pixie Aventura, this is Monet Exchange. You're currently on the Sibling Rivalry podcast with myself and Bob the Drag Queen. How are you?
God damn it!
Oh, wow.
I'm good.
So Bob and I, so you and I have taken many vacations together. And how proficient would you say my Spanish is?
You've been very good. Both of you are very good. I've actually trained both of you. So I feel very proud that both of you have become excellent linguistics in the language of Espanol.
Fun fact, Trixie actually looks a little... Did I say Pixie?
Wow.
Anyway, sorry. I misspoke. I apologize. Pixie looks a little bit like my Spanish teacher from high school. So, Senora Jimenez, if you're out there, I miss you very much. And your Spanish is still with, but yeah, her name was Senora Jimenez.
Why every middle-aged Latin woman has got to resemble me?
To be honest, like, I remember being like, when we were on stage and I was like, damn, Pixie looks like Senora Jimenez.
Okay, so Pixie, so is it cool if you say 3 sentences, like one at a time, and Bob and I are going to see who understands best?
Okay.
Okay. Round 1, go.
Este año no puedo visitar a mis padres para el nuevo año, pero en enero lo voy a visitar.
Bitch, we didn't say a story.
There was something about your dad.
Yeah, that you're not going to visit your dad for the new year.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got the gist of it. I understand. Okay, let me make the sentence shorter.
Please. Also, we're literally asking on the fly. So
yeah, she was like, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
It's a tale of 2 titties.
The tale of 2 titties. Okay, round 2.
Round 2. Okay. En este momento me estoy arreglando para mi programa.
In a moment.
Uh-huh.
In a moment,
you are. Wait, can you say it one more time?
En este momento me voy a alistar para mi programa.
Oh, in a moment you're gonna get ready.
I'm gonna make a list for my. I'm gonna get ready for my show. In a
moment, you're gonna get ready for your show.
Yeah.
Not make a list.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, listo es ready.
Yeah, that's right. Listo, listo.
Yes. Okay.
All right, last one. Here we go.
One.
And third. Oh God. Okay. Oh God. Fuck. I'm in the spot.
I'll translate it. Adios mío, adios mío, adios mío, adios mío.
Yeah, that is straight from our show. Hold on, just give me a second.
Just tell us what you're doing.
El año 2022, ojalá va a ser mejor que el año 2021.
Okay,
the year 2020 was better.
2022.
The year 2022 will be better than year 2021.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Look at us. Oh my God. We're like fluent as Spanish.
Hey. What's this, dude?
Hey. Bob is currently dancing, celebrating. Okay, Pix, we love you very much.
Thanks. Hopefully one day I'm going to be invited for a full podcast.
We have 1 or 2. Bob says no every time. So
that is not true. I would
together.
love to have Pixie on the show.
Pixie would be great. It would be a great episode. All right, we love you very much, Pix.
Love you.
Bye. Wow, we're pretty good at that.
Yeah, I'm very proud of us, and I did just have a crash course in Spanish.
In
Spanish, Espanol. The guy at the airport was like, "You speak very good Spanish," and I was like, "All right, let's just wrap this up."
And in Saint Lucia, they speak Creole. They speak patois. Do you know anything about French or patois, Creole, or anything?
I understand. From what I understand, patois and Creole are not the same thing.
In different countries. In Jamaica, no. In Saint Lucia, yes. It's different in different countries. Like Jamaican patois is a completely different thing. Mm-hmm. Saint Lucia patois is very similar to French and
got it.
Interchange with Creole.
I do not know much about. I mean, I went to school with a lot of Haitians. There are a lot of Haitians at my school.
Mm-hmm. Sac passe.
Actually, I remember.
Did they say that a lot?
I don't remember. I was in high school 20 years ago.
Damn.
Have you seen that video with Kevin Hart interviewing Don Cheadle?
Yes.
Don Cheadle goes, "I mean, I am 52. Damn. I'm sorry.
Do you like Kevin Hart?
Sometimes he's funny. Sometimes.
You know he's the highest paid comedian.
That makes sense. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
But you don't think it's very funny?
That is not what I said.
You said sometimes.
I said sometimes he's funny. You translated that to, so you don't think he's funny. You don't think he's very funny. Sometimes he's funny, and sometimes I don't guffaw. I mean, he's no. For me, it is Chris Rock, Wanda Sykes, John Mulaney.
Okay, so your order is Chris Rock,
Wanda Sykes. Well, Chris Rock is the top. Like Chris Rock is like so fucking funny.
Cause you love doing Chris Rock, man.
Every time you come in the house. No way. And the hands be like this. Chris Rock is just one of the funniest and smartest. He's just He's just so fucking funny. And then I really enjoy, maybe just kind of on some same equal level, Wanda Sykes, John Mulaney, Jim Gaffigan.
If you don't say the name that you be busting my fucking dick about, that you love so much. No, keep on going. Let's hear people.
Well, I like Bo Burnham, but I don't think...
Bob, you act like he's the funniest nigga that's ever written comedy.
Y'all, one time, I just said, I would like you to watch this special. It's really funny. I mean, y'all, one time, I was like, I had just watched it, and I said, Monet, we should watch this special. It's really funny.
And Jacob knows that Bob one time was a relentless one time. Monet, I'm not asking you to sail to the moon. Monet, I'm not asking you to do trigonometry. Monet, I'm just asking you to just sit down and watch.
But also, I think that, but I mean, I've never said he's like my favorite comedian. I just think that this one special, the special What, is really funny. And I was like, you should watch it with me. It's really funny.
Who is the comedian that does his whole set with a guitar and he underscores his whole thing?
His name was like, there's a few. Or you could be thinking about you mean the one that he wrote
and his jokes, they're not like, they're just like, it's like, is it
Dimitri Martin?
He has
like a bowl cut.
I don't remember. He's always like, do you know why they call it a cell phone? Because you call in your cell. Like it's like stupid jokes like that.
No, I think Dimitri Martin does. There's also a comedian who has some. He's the guy who wrote the song. He wrote a song called Special Ed, which is a little bit offensive, but that's the only song I can remember right now. He also was a guitar-based comedian.
The guy I'm talking about, because I used to do when I used to back in the day with Pandora. I used to like do Pandora, and I would just put it on the comedy station. It would like cycle through different comedians. It was actually great. Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a show. He had a show on Comedy Central for a little while.
Yeah.
Like a sketch show.
I love people that underscore stuff. Underscoring is like 50. If you underscore something, I'm like sold.
I think I realized when it's Drag Race, every moment of Drag Race is underscored. There are no moments on Drag Race where there's not music playing.
Really?
Literally not one. Every second of Drag Race is underscored.
Are you sure?
Except for the moments right before they do as they transition from one song to the next. Every moment of Drag Race is underscored. Isn't that crazy?
I've never noticed. I haven't paid attention.
I was like, there's never not music playing. This is crazy.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I remember I was like paying attention. I was like, this is wild. And especially you notice that once the tone changes and the music goes from like dun ba dun na na dun, that like background music, then it goes shoo, and someone's like, that's when I was hit by a car. Blum 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 blum. And they like do all the like, who's your favorite comedians?
My favorite comedians.
Like, who's your number one?
My number one. It's hard to say because not currently, but old Ellen. I thought her again, like we talked about, this was the first special I ever saw, and I just loved.
Ellen was the first special you ever saw.
This first special I ever saw. Of my own fruition. I think maybe like Martin Lawrence.
Of your own what?
Fruition.
Volition.
Institution. Put me in an institution. And I mean, my mom and like my aunts, they would watch like Queens of Comedy and stuff like that. But like I was just in the room as opposed to like I went on TV and I was like, oh, I want to watch this. Like Ellen DeGeneres at the beginning, and I just loved her how she delivered jokes. She was like, but I saw a recent one. We talked about this before.
Was it relatable? How relatable was it?
Yeah, I think it was relatable, and it just wasn't as great as her old specials to me.
Yeah, I think fruition is when something comes to be.
Yeah,
like it came to fruition.
Yeah, fruition.
Never Scared
by Martin Lawrence.
Chris Rock. This is, I remember watching it in college at least once a week for my entire freshman year of college and laughing every single time, like nonstop. Every time. It is so well done. It is so cleverly written. It is so well performed. Bigger and Blacker is also great.
I've seen Bigger and Blacker.
His latest one, Tambourine, is pretty good as well. Wanda Sykes, you know what Wanda Sykes said? Really,
I watched her recent, but the one where she's in the white.
I can't remember which one was the most recent one.
I think that
but one of her bits
really
that I
funny.
really loved was when she was like it was back when she was presenting as straight. And she was like, I can't do her voice. She's like, you know what I wish? I wish you could take your pussy off and leave it at home.
Yeah. She wasn't straight in that.
Yeah, because she's talking about her husband.
Oh, no. Well, she must have reused that joke in this newest one, which is talking about her wife.
She's like, my husband asked me if I could, like, my husband be like, can you leave the pussy at home? I come back and be all stretched out. Your friends done came over.
Oh, my God. She used it, Bob. She used that same joke in the recent special.
Did she?
Yes, because I've
even
never
was
seen
like
that
she went
one.
for a jog. Like, oh,
yes.
sorry.
Yeah,
I have nothing of value on me.
Yes.
I think you watched an old special.
No, it was the one because she talked about her wife and how they have kids and how she has a white wife with white kids and her being her black ass with his white ass family. There's a whole bit about it.
That is so funny. I'm sorry, I have nothing of value. And she goes, I'm so glad Obama's the president. I ain't got to be so sanctified no more, so distinguished. She's talking about. I don't know. She's just so fucking funny. She was like, we got our first black president. Until he do something fucked up, and I'll be like, who let this half white guy win? And I think I first became aware of Wanda Sykes in the movie Pootie Tang, which is a Chris Rock movie.
That was her big moment. That's when everyone was like, oh my god, Wanda Sykes.
Yeah, she's so good on Blackish.
I never seen Blackish.
You've never seen Blackish?
Never seen Blackish.
Wanda Sykes plays his boss, Anthony Anderson's boss. Whoever, I can't remember Anthony Anderson's character's name. But she's Anthony Anderson's boss at the advertising agency. And she's just kind of like nutty.
Did you watch Insecure? Do you watch Insecure?
I've held, I'll say when we get back.
Yeah, let's take a break.
So we're back. Welcome back, everyone. I have not watched it. And when I heard that there was the last season, I was like, great, I'm going to binge it. Kind of like I did the same thing with Breaking Bad. I did not watch a single bit of Breaking Bad until the whole thing was done. So I'm going to binge it now. And one of the main reasons I want to watch it is because Keisha Carr keeps posting about how amazing it is.
I'm very curious.
Keisha Carr posted a video. She's like crying. She was like, yo, I just watched the finale.
I cried at the finale too. I did cry at the finale. But
I did watch her YouTube series a while back.
Well, I never watched a YouTube series.
The sad, like shy black
Insecure
girl.
Black girl.
No, it was Insecure. It was Diary of like a awkward black
girl. There was. Yeah. I'm very curious as to what
you don't put your legs on my side of the table, please.
I'm very curious as to what your opinions on Insecure would be, because you have very strong opinions. You can't watch a fucking time traveler's wife and live your life. So I'm very curious.
Okay, well, Time Traveler's Wife is a movie about groomers.
Can we not?
Have we ever talked about it on the podcast?
Yes, we have. We talked about it literally the day after we did it.
Yeah, it's wild. Time Traveler's Wife is crazy.
It's not crazy, but anyway,
starring
because my god, they're making a TV show about the Time Traveler's Wife.
Yeah, it's gonna be and Chris Hansen's gonna be in it.
Who's Chris Hansen?
He's the Catch a Predator guy.
Oh, Takesha. Remember what the funny George Cracker was saying?
Stage Takesha. Takesha Predator.
And I fucking lost it.
Oh no, with that guy.
No, Cracker said that joke.
What'd she say?
Takesha Predator.
Like that's a drag name?
Yeah. She was like, because we would bring people up, they do a walk off, whatever. She was like, and this kid, he looks like a fetus. We cannot believe it's in the bar. I'm like, you have to be 12 years old. Showed his ID, everything. She was like, well, welcome to stage, Takesha Predator.
Can you please tell, before we get into our subject, the joke that Cracker told about that couple?
I'm really bad at reading some people's jokes besides yours. You should tell it.
Okay, this is based off of, this is like secondhand, so I wasn't there for this. So Monet and Pixie, Monet and Pixie are hanging out, and Pixie has these friends, and then one of the friends is like, I think 9 years older than the other one.
One is 27, and so what's 9 minus 27?
Well, how old is the other one?
Oh no, it's just when they were first met.
Yeah, so one's 27 and one is 9 years older, which is 36.
Yeah. No. One is like 22 now or something like that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. The original one was 27 and 9 years minus 27.
Got it. So no, yes. 9 minus 27 is 18.
Okay, the young one was 6.
Bitch, we need to get this.
The young one was 17. He was under 18.
Like when you met?
When we met, no.
How was he when you met?
I don't remember.
Well, it's important to the story.
Well, they're like 5 years older now from where they were. Okay,
so basically what happened was the way that the story happened, the younger one was under 18 years old.
Yeah, either 16 or 17
when they started dating. Mm-hmm. And what did he call it? He was like, there was some allusion to how young the other guy was, and he was. What happened was someone was like, well, when we first started dating, I would go outside his window and say hi to him. And then someone was like, "Oh, you went to his apartment or something." And then somehow came out. He was like, "No, like at his mom's house.
Yeah, his mom's
like
house.
He would go to the. Oh my god, this is some Time Traveler's Wife shit. He would go to the window at his parents' house and woo a minor. A full-grown adult man was wooing this minor. Celine Dion. Anyway,
girl, Renee
and
down.
Celine Dion, girl. So this whole thing is happening, but now they're
so me and Cracker are sitting there like, oh my god, this is wild.
Yes, they're gagging. So this is years later. Everyone's of legal age now.
Yeah, everyone's of legal age now.
Yeah, they're not having the dinner at Gymboree or Chuck E. Cheese. They're at some nice place where everyone can drink.
Yeah.
And then at some point, the conversation of children doing drag came up.
Yeah.
And then someone, I think Pixie was like, one of my friends has a kid who does drag.
Yeah.
And then the older guy was like, oh, like, how old is he? And then Pixie was like, the kid who's doing drag is 11. And then Cracker looked at the young one.
And then the guy said, you have friends who are 11?
Yeah, you know what it was. The guy says, you have friends who are 11? And then Cracker looks at the young one and goes, watch out, he's going to cheat on you.
When I tell you, I lost at the table.
So Monet
I could
is
not
cackling.
stop laughing.
They're not laughing.
They're not laughing.
Monet is cackling.
I couldn't help myself. It was so funny. I was like, Cracker is so fucking funny.
And if y'all don't know, I mean, you've seen Cracker out of drag. She's like, it happens kind of like she's sitting there, usually
with
like a shirt buttoned up to her chin, looking very like Poindexter, looking like young Sheldon. And then she just goes, "Uh-oh, he's gonna cheat." And then she'll say it, but she won't. Then
she won't laugh. Cracker will act like she didn't say nothing. She's drinking her tea, and then I'll look at her and laugh.
And then she'll
just
like, keep doing what she's doing, and you'll be like, "This is crazy." She goes, "Well, girl, you mentioned earlier that Wanda Sykes has a white wife."
Yes, Wanda Sykes have a white wife with white children.
Have you heard? So there's this thing online. It's always like, why do black celebrities always date white people?
Bitch. It's a very.
Well, it's usually specifically queer.
No, not true.
I think it seems to be more of a thing with queer.
I don't see it that way. For example, Amanda Seales she's been very vocal. Like there's this clip of her on the reel, and then when she was still working there, and they all sent it to her. She has her afro out.
She don't work at the reel anymore.
No, she's been left the reel a long time. She was there for like maybe 4 months. She's like, I gotta go. I can't handle it.
Right.
She didn't like the. Well, allegedly, I don't know if this is true. Allegedly, I don't know why Amanda Seales left the reel.
She like her coworkers,
but I have no idea. But Amanda Seales left the reel of her own. She chose to leave.
You got to fight with Barbara Walters. I know that's the view.
So there is a clip of her, and they're all sitting at the table talking about like dating, whatever. And then Lonnie Lowe goes to her, like, "Girl, don't worry, you're gonna find your white man soon." And Amanda Seales is like, "No, I'm not." And then she looks like fluffing her hair, and because Amanda Seales has been very vocal about she wants to date black men only. She's not interested in dating men who are not black.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen a lot even on TikTok. Anytime there's like an interracial couple, like you go in the comments, they are always went up like, of course you would with a white man. Da, 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 da. It's always that. I see that all the time.
Yeah, I personally think it. I mean, I have a white boyfriend. I have a Mexican boyfriend. So I'm in two different interracial dynamics. And I personally think that it is really weird to me when people are so upset if you have a white partner. To me, that's
I think
weird.
It's very weird too.
I genuinely don't get it. And I also don't understand the concept of people thinking that you should date someone based on their race.
It's wild. The first time I ever posted Andy on a TikTok, the comment, like, they're like, couple comments, of course, you and Bob, of course, I knew it. Of course, y'all only date white men. I'm like, first of all, that's not true. That's literally not true. I've dated an array of men. Mm-hmm. I've only ever dated 2 white dudes, and not that even matters. But growing up, like we talked about before, not my first encounter love, but one of the first books I ever read was The Coldest Winter Ever. I think Sister Soldier, and I think that like,
oh my God, Scissor Soldier.
I think that was bad for young me because that was my induction into what I think for years it taught me what I wanted love to be like. I wanted love to be I in my mind what I wanted for myself younger was to only date a black dude, and I wanted it to be like that, like thug type of love and like all that stuff. And it was really bad for me to read it so young because that's what I wanted. I wanted my relationship and my life to be like winter and midnight. I was like, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. That's what love would be like for me. That's what I know I want. I don't want to date anything else. And for my early years, I only dated that because that's what I thought. Well, and they were all closet cases, which was a mess in itself.
Yeah.
Because of what I was seeking, and it was really traumatic for me young. I feel.
I think I can certainly see the beauty in seeing two Black people together.
Oh, for sure.
But I do think it is very strange to think that Black people should only want to date Black people. Now, I don't think it's strange if you're Black and you only want to date Black people. I think it's strange if you have a problem with other Black people dating who they want to date. Yeah. To me, that is very. I do think it is also weird. Not weird. Yeah, I do think it is weird for if there's like a Black person who like does not date Black people, like as a rule. That is wild. That is odd to me. And then I'm also thinking about when in terms of date, I think I want to broaden my definition from date to like hook up.
All of that stuff.
Yeah, have sex, go out on dates and stuff like that. And I think that before Jacob and I started dating, I've only ever tried to court like maybe 3 or 4 other people in my life, and it just never got to the boyfriend stage. I think of those 3 people, I'm not gonna say their names on the podcast. That seems shady, right?
No, we want to hear their names.
Is that it's shady? Is that weird?
We want to look them up.
Anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna say their names, but you know one of them. And it was 2 Black guys, 1 white guy, and then I met Jacob, and then we actually ended up like actually dating. But there is this like weird thing, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of gets to my head sometimes. Did you send us a thing, babe? Can you share it on the thing? Because I don't have Facebook on this thing. There's a part of me that sometimes it does actually get to my head. Does it ever get to your head at all? Ever?
Oh yeah, it for sure does. And you know what I mean. And it's like it's really it's very off-putting.
The hat scratch. I love the hat scratch. It's bad.
My head is itching.
I just love the hat scratch.
It's very annoying. It's mean-spirited. It's off-putting, and it's like, why you? It's like you need to combat your own internalized racism as to why you are so obsessed with the color of the people that I'm dating. Like, why is that? Like, why is that upsetting to you? Why is that mattering to you?
They think you don't. I think it's because if they see you, make the font larger, babe. If you are dating a white guy, for maybe it's just because of maybe their own past trauma or things they've seen before, but they think that because Monet is dating a white guy, because Bob's dating a white guy,
they don't
think Black people are attractive,
which is wild.
And then it gives them an opportunity to create other narratives like Monet hates Black people in general.
They make up their own multiverse.
Well, your friend is the one who told everyone, that Monet paid dust to all the. That was a crazy story. And I was like, Monet literally ignored every single person of color who came up, and then when a white girl came up, she sucked the milk out of their titties.
Right.
But then, of course, everyone knows. Also, by the way, someone just gathered you in the comments the other day. Someone was like, because you were like, I never told a fan I love them. Multiple people were like, when I met you, you told me you loved me. When I met you, you told me you loved me.
But I don't. I mean, they can say that, Bob. I do not form to say I love you. Like that even feels weird to me. But like, love you, babe.
No, not love you, babe.
What do I say?
So, oh my God, I love you.
Okay, yes. I mean, I have engaged in that. But not like
I didn't say you made out with them and said love you, babe. See you tonight at dinner. I said you told fans I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have in that way, but obviously not in a romantic type of way that I would with my partner, aka Andy.
So you're not romantically attracted to people coming to your shows?
No.
Is it because they're Black?
Yes. Not the same love I would give.
Clip this. We're gonna clip this.
Not the same love I would give to a partner. It was like a
white. You think Andy deserves more love than Black people come to your show? Wow. Do you think Andy deserves more love than Black people come to your show? Is the question I'm asking.
What happened?
Don't engage with me, Monet. I am being very messy right now.
Oh, you are being messy. But I want you to say that loud again so you hear how messy you're being. I think when you call to think about it and say it again, you're like, I need to. I'll be wild.
What is Blackness?
What is Blackness?
Yeah.
In terms of what? In terms of
for people, not for clothes. Like, what is Blackness in people? Like, how are we going to define Blackness?
Well, I think we've engaged in defining Blackness before, and we had a whole thing about how you were saying that it was Michael Jackson Black when he died, whatever it was. And I think you cannot take once you're Black, you're Black.
I don't believe in taking away anyone. I just want to be clear that I do not believe in taking away anyone's blackness. But I recently saw a definition. I saw a recent definition of race that really confused me. It genuinely confused me because I didn't know. I had never heard of that concept of race before. Yeah, and it was like the definition. And there were a lot of people on TikTok. The conversation was based around light-skinned people, light-skinned black people on TikTok. You have 2 black parents, but you look white. Right. And everyone on TikTok was like, then you're white. No. I don't know. I do not know.
I do know. And the answer is no.
But there was...
Because you cannot change that person's experience. Yes, they may be white passing, whatever, but bitch, you grew up with your black-ass mom and your black-ass daddy.
So do you think experiences make you black?
Huh?
So you think experience?
I think it's a combination of. I think it's the experiences you have at home. I think it's yes, you may be white passing, but you experience this world as a black person.
So if you have black parents, and you are having a black experience, which by the way is a social construct, it doesn't actually mean anything.
But see, okay, this is my thing with construct. Everything is a construct.
That's not true.
Yeah, send me something. I'll tell you why it's a construct.
Like for example. This table is not a social construct. This table
is a physical construct.
The fact that it is called a table
is a construct.
That's a social construct. Right. But the table itself is not a social construct.
But it's a physical construct. That's what I'm saying. But everything is a construct. So when people say that's a social construct, most things, calling this a phone is a construct. We just started calling it a phone.
Yeah, no, but like the idea of like someone being sick is not a social construct. I mean, calling the sickness what you call it is a social construct.
Right. But also sickness, so you coughing and sneezing, in America we'll say you're sick. In, I don't know, in fucking Guyana, they'll be like, no, that's not sick. Like it all.
Why would they not say I was sick in Guyana?
I don't know. I'm just giving a random definition. I'm just giving a random example, but I'm saying.
Shout out West Indians.
Oh, what you know about Guyana?
I know where it is.
Where is it?
It's in the West Indies.
Where?
I can't point it out, but I just know it's in the West Indies.
Pull up on the map.
All I know is Guyana's in the West Indies. I do not know exactly where it is. I just know generally speaking.
So you don't give a fuck about the West Indies, but you just be saying it and repping shit. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Yeah. Guyana, nigga. Are you ready to roll the dice? Friday, January 7th, RuPaul's Drag Race is back on VH1, and this season, victory never tasted so sweet.
What do you mean, RuPaul? 14 queens are all game to play, but only one will make it to the end to wear the superstar crown. That was a horrible RuPaul.
Who will turn the fiercest looks? Who will make the biggest moves? And who will just spin out?
Get ready, because the game-changing judges like Lizzo and Alicia Keys, baby, anything is possible. And for the biggest treat of all, for the first time in history, a one-of-a-kind candy bar could make a queen's wishes come true.
Who were you, Lou Rawls?
That was Benji.
let me do Sharon Needles. In this sweet and sour twist, one lucky player might just get the chance to stay instead of stashing away. Poopy whoopy.
And here's who's this? Hope you saved room for dessert.
Who is that?
I was trying to be Jinx Monsoon.
Oh.
All right, last one. Ready? Don't miss the season premiere of RuPaul's Drag Race. Friday, January 7th at 8/7 Central, only on VH1.
Evie?
That was Naomi.
No, it's not Naomi.
No, watch Drag Race.
Watch Drag Race, y'all. Yeah, so I mean, we can't, this is about, I guess, interracial relationship, this relates to it. But in terms of dating and race, I think there is a weird obsession. And I think after 2020 as well, I noticed on my social media, people were obviously conscious about it before, but I feel like after the events of 2020, people got really, really, really interested in dynamics, in interracial dynamics as it pertains to race and as it pertains to dating. In my opinion,
I think that I don't think you're wrong. I think that race in general. I think that because of the Black Lives Matter resurgence in 2020, every aspect of race has been under a microscope, and I think that dating is no exception to that. So I do think that you're right, but I think it was just about. Specifically, conversations about race have become really impassioned, and intense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think that what really is just kind of like, I don't know, it kind of feels
It's always been a thing though. Like you think about like movies and stuff, and when like in even old movies, not so. I'm trying to think of an older black movie, but like when like
How old you mean? Like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
I never seen that. That's a movie.
Yes, Laurence Olivier. I mean Sidney Poitier.
I know.
Sidney Poitier. It's called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and it's a white woman, and she brings a black guy home.
Right, like stuff like that. Like it's always been a thing. And I remember watching movies as a kid, and when I was like the one black person bringing the white person home to like the family dinner or whatever, it's always been like, oh,
well, they
God.
remade it with
That's
Bernie
so-
Mac and Ashton Kutcher because they just made it in reverse, and a black girl brought a white guy home.
It's always been like a thing. So I'm not saying it's only been a thing after 2020, but I feel like that exacerbated things. That people were really looking at it a lot more. I think even growing up, like again, like I talked about how I felt before, but I think a reason why it took me so long to date like a white person, because I felt like some type of insecurity about it and what people would think about me if I was dating a white person.
That's very real.
Yeah.
That is very, very real. And I know that growing up, I think because I didn't grow up around white people, when I first started being physically attracted to people, I was not physically attracted to white people. I would really like only hook up with guys who look very similar to me. I mean, not just like black, but I mean like physical structure and everything. I was a doppelbanger.
A doppelbanger? I've never heard of that.
I was a doppelbanger, full on. And then as I think I don't know, I started just meeting people from different cultures and just kind of like experiencing, you know, fun interactions, sexy interactions, romantic interactions with people. And I do think that even if it is within your own race, I think dating someone for the color of their skin or simply because of the color of their skin, but maybe that's not how they see it. Maybe someone like Amanda Seales who only dates black men isn't doing it because they're black, but when someone says something like, "What are you looking for in a partner?" and then someone says, "I'm looking for like a chocolate brother," and like it's you sound like it kind of sounds like your only qualification is that they're black, which seems odd to me.
But if that is your race and you think that, is that a bad thing? Like if you are a black woman,
you can fetishize your own people. Yes.
Yeah, this is true. But if you are a black woman who wants to date a black man because of how high racial tensions are, and you just want to feel comfortable when you go home, and for you that comfortability is dating someone that looks just like you and has the same experiences, and when you go to the store has the same, is that a bad thing? I don't think that's inherently bad.
I don't think it is a bad thing. I don't think that wanting to have similarities with your partner based on your experiences or your background and stuff is bad. I just don't, but I think that obviously it has to be more than just because they're black. But also, I'm one of someone who really started to look at people as attractive even outside of their gender. Like there was a day when I asked myself, like, am I really not attracted to any women at all, or is this like just my programming in my head told me that I'm not attracted? Then I started looking. I was like, I am attracted to some women. I genuinely am, and like that. But I kind of had to just start unpacking it in my brain. It was kind of like that. The thing about. I think we talked about it, dating people who like seeing plus size people as beautiful and just unpacking it in your brain. And once you ask yourself why you think this way, you can really do some, you know, real inner workings to find out why you feel that way.
Yeah, I agree. Dating interracially, you recently brought both of your partners. Well, Jacob has met your family a whole bunch. Yes. That was his first time. How was the first time Jacob meeting your family? Please tell the story about the firecrackers. The fireworks.
Wow, I cannot believe you used that word.
Yeah, firecrackers.
White people with red hair, firecrackers. Patty, a little firecracker.
Patty is a fire. You know, Patty is the definition of firecracker. Fire off, girl.
Whenever I brought Jacob home, and there are, well, no, my uncle has mixed children. My uncle Ray. I have a mixed.
Ray Charles.
Yes, Ray Charles is my uncle. No, my uncle Ray Caldwell. Julius is his real name, but everyone calls him Ray.
Black people love doing that.
I think it's his middle name. I'm pretty sure, and he spells it W-R-E-Y. Ray. Anyway, Uncle Ray has mixed children with a white woman from Utah. So I'm not the first, but they're not together anymore. And when I brought him home, I mean, I don't know. I throw my family so many curveballs between pansexual, non-binary, drag queen. When a white guy showed up, they were just like, "Hey, Chris."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a moment we were all playing with fireworks on the 4th of July. And I don't know how to do it in other places, but in Mississippi, you just like literally just go to an open field with a bunch of fireworks. You just throw the fireworks. You have them in your hand. You shoot the bottle rockets out of your hand. It is a very country experience. But Jacob is a very skittish person. Like if Jacob is anything, he's like a nervous cat, and he's like Jacob is standing behind a car, but like peeking over the car. And I don't think my young cousins knew who he was. So my cousin's like, who that white man looking at us? Who that white man looking at us? Because Jacob is
Jacob's on his phone like, hello, 911.
who that white man looking at us? And I was like, that's my boyfriend. And they're like, oh, okay, sorry.
What's in Nevaeh?
No, she's my niece. It was one of my cousin's children.
Got it.
It was like a younger cousin.
Yeah,
my cousin my age, her kids.
My brother is married to a white woman. They have 3 kids. Oh my god, my brother has 3 children. That's wild.
How old's the oldest one?
5, 3, and 6 months.
One of them's already 5'3".
Yeah,
damn.
You saw. I mean, we're big stock, girl.
Was that me?
It's me. Yeah. So my brother. So recent, and they met Andy, which was wild. Did I tell you this?
Already met Andy?
Did I tell you this?
I have not met your family. This is
crazy. So what happened was Andy and I had just started dating, and my family we just started dating. This is the end of August, and my family came down to visit. You saw when all my aunts came. Oh, you were filming. We're here. That's why. All my aunts came to LA to visit me. And then so we were hanging out. Andy had hit me up. He was like, hey, I'd love to see you today. I'm like, well, I can't really hang out today. I'm hanging out with my aunts. I'm taking them around. We're getting lunch, yada, yada, yada. It's like, oh, we're getting lunch at this place. He was like, oh, that's actually right by my house. So if you want, text me when you're there. And maybe you can like come outside.
I want to meet Jackie. That's what I want to meet.
I know. Text me when you get outside, and maybe we can you can just come outside and say hello, whatever. I was like, cool. So they have lunch with my aunts, 3 of them. Very right. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all saw it was a wild time. I got them fucking drunk. I got them. It was great. It was a great time.
I feel like your aunts are so different than my aunts. Like I could never imagine my aunts all getting drunk. That would be like,
really?
Jacob, could you imagine like my mom and Aunt Hazel and Aunt Lisa like getting drunk? It doesn't even. I can't even fathom it.
We're West Indians, honey. We're
You also said that your mom wears a leotard or like a bathing suit at the beach. I told you I've never seen. I know most people wear a bathing suit. I've never seen my mom in a bathing suit.
That's so wild.
I've never seen my aunt. I've never seen any of my aunts. I think I may have seen my aunt Lisa in a bathing suit.
That's wild to me.
Actually, my aunt Lisa also wears shorts and a t-shirt to the beach.
Really?
I've never seen them in a bathing suit.
My mom is in a full bathing suit. Anyways, so then afterwards I text him like, hey, we're like about halfway through. I don't know if you still want to come by. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll come by. Bitch, I look up 10 minutes later and he is walking into the restaurant with a bouquet of sunflowers, one for me and one for each of my aunts. And
he's trying to he really trying to get them. He was trying to get them.
This was
win the aunts, you win everything.
This was we'd only been talking for like 2 weeks at this point. And he did that. So he showed up and I was like, oh my God, what are you doing?
You gave Andy some sloppy toppy that night.
Oh, I busted down on that zick, honey. And then he gave one to me and each of them, and they all got up and hugged him and shit, blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards he texted me, he's like, does your family know you're gay? I was like, yes, they do. They know I'm gay on TV.
What the white boy done with these here flowers?
So he met
Was that a good West Indian?
That was not. I don't know, bitch. I don't know. You sound like Whoopi Goldberg in Clara's Heart.
You will never do a West Indian accent for me. You never will do it.
I have before, Bob. We did a whole podcast. I did. You talking about Ani Ginkgo? Bitch, Uni Ginkgo Paloma, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Palmetto.
Rosetta. But yeah, so my family has had
Echo Insurance.
My family has no weirdness about interracial dating. They love they for a little bit they met, and I've obviously heard me talk about Andy a lot. They really like him for me, et cetera, et cetera. So they don't have no weirdness about me in an interracial relationship. But I'm just happy that I am not because I saw you growing up when I was like my birth mom, June. Like the year I was in Atlanta. I don't know why. I would hear her say things like, if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home and shit like that. So like from back then when I was like 10, 12.
You were like, she's not coming home regardless.
10, 12. I was developing this.
You're like, bitch, I can't use a comb.
Oh my God. You are a mess. So from that young age, I was developing this this toxic thing about interracial dating. And obviously later in like by my mid-20s, I'd shaken that and I was whatever, and I'm happily in an interracial relationship. But yeah, I think family can really be instrumental in fucking warping your mind and making terrible,
I agree.
racial constructs for you.
And being in an interracial relationship is very interesting because whenever I hang out with Jacob and his family, it's just so different.
Yes.
Than hanging out. It is like the Ritzes and the Michelles. So it's like if I'm hanging out with Ezra's family, it's like I'm hanging out with all these Mexicans. And like everyone, like they all speak Spanish.
I'm listening. I'm just going to show you this.
I mean, it is a very Mexican experience. And when I hang out with Jacob and his family, it is a very Northeast Jewish experience. It is like a liberal Jewish Obama, like the kind of Jews who have Obama stickers in the year 2020 on their car. It's very much like those kind of people, and it is just so different. I think it was the first Seder for Passover, right? I went to Jacob's family's place for a Seder. Which do you have a microphone? Is your mic on?
Yeah, what's a Seder?
Can you describe what Seder is, babe?
Seder is the Passover dinner and the celebration of Passover. So it's a dinner, but there's also sort of like a Passover service where you tell the story of Passover and how it applies to like the different things you're doing in the dinner. So it's like a ritualistic, celebratory dinner. Yeah, so it starts. I actually have it on my phone. I recorded the whole thing. It starts with like Jacob's mom being like, "Hi, everyone, welcome to our Seder. Just so you know, I don't believe in any of this stuff. All right, let's get started." And then she like tells all this. So she's doing it more for the tradition. Like Jewish people seem to be really interested in their religion as a tradition,
as opposed
and
to
as a culture. Then there are some Jews who are serious.
For sure.
But there are
Orthodox.
I don't know a lot of Christians who are just into it for the traditions.
I think more than you think. But
like who don't believe in God, like who don't believe in God and are still like going to church.
So does your mom not believe in God at all?
But we're like praying. We're Baruch Atah, like
Baruch Hashem.
We're doing the whole fucking thing. And it was really interesting. Everyone knew all the prayers, and Jacob sings the songs.
It's also important. She has new translation of the prayers that don't have God in them.
Got it.
Yeah, Jacob really wanted to make sure Rose Ritz's name was cleared, honey.
Absolutely.
But they're just really interested in it. So it was really interesting to see someone engage in a non-religious religious practice, and like kind of basically everyone was on board. Everyone was like, "Yeah, this is pretty much what we all agree. None of us believe this stuff, but we love these traditions. We love Jewish traditions." And I guess the only thing that I have that's similar to that is that I celebrate Christmas, but it is a very secular Christmas. I guess it's just the same thing. It's just without, you just pull the God out of it, and you just do the Christmas stuff.
I thought this TikTok. I guess we can show it on a podcast, but I'm gonna show you really quick. The caption says, "When he asked why I was so quiet around his family when we started dating."
Yo, my coworkers always ask me, "Brandon, why you so quiet?" Because I'm the only nigga up in here, baby. I have nigga thoughts. I make nigga observations. I can't go around speaking my nigga mind in this non-nigga place full of you non-niggas. I get fired so motherfucking quick.
there seems to be a thing online where like interracial couples on TikTok are a huge thing.
Yeah.
There's like this black girl and this Asian guy who are a couple.
Yes, the tall Asian guy.
Yeah, he's a really tall Asian guy.
Yeah.
She has like an afro.
Sure, yeah.
And they are like a huge thing, but also they get a lot of hate.
Oh yeah.
As well.
People love to.
And there's also this other girl and this white guy who are, by the way, I feel like growing up, I never, maybe just where I'm from, you would see black guys dating white girls. You would, just never see black girls dating white guys.
I don't remember.
That was not for in
New York. I feel like I saw everything. So I mean, I don't.
Yeah, you grew up in New York City.
I don't remember that sticking out to me.
You probably literally seen a rat dragging a piece of pizza at some point in your life. You've seen it all, but I had never seen that, and it's kind of like it's like a whole thing now.
Yeah.
That I think that maybe it's because like some of these black women don't feel confined because I think there is a lot of pressure from black people to date black.
Oh, for sure. For sure, and
you get shame if you get shame.
Yeah, or people call you like a sellout, and like, oh yeah, it's such a big thing in the Black community. Obviously, not only the Black community, obviously other communities probably engage in this.
Well, I'm not part of those communities.
Yeah, we're Black, so we're speaking from a Black experience. We're not saying.
I know that. I mean, Jacob's mom was talking about a nice young Jewish boy, not for Jacob, for Mateo actually. She was trying to hook. Was it Nick? She's trying to hook Nick up with a nice Jewish boy. Nick is not Jewish, by the way, at all. But
I was going to say, we're not saying
actually,
other races.
I guess that that didn't seem to be the same thing. But I don't know. I know that the cultural context of Jewish people wanting their kids to date other Jewish people.
Oh, that's a big thing, especially like in Sex and the City. Charlotte literally converted to Judaism to date Harry and marry Harry because he could not date someone who was not Jewish. She literally
Jacob's dad converted to Judaism, and they're not even religious.
That's wild.
My grandmother was at the time.
Yeah. So we're saying it's not only Black people, Bob, because people say, oh, so y'all only saying Black people do that. No, we're Black people. We're speaking from a Black experience. We're sure it happens in other.
We have a nigga thoughts in our nigga minds.
Can you please one with Jacob? Like, he'll ask me why I just had nigga thoughts. I guess. But yeah, so I don't know where we're going.
Well, I think what we're getting at is we're talking about the pressure to date Black.
Yeah.
When you're in the Black community.
Yeah.
And someone was asking me, can you date outside of your race as a Black person and still be pro-Black?
Absolutely.
Obviously, I think so.
Yeah.
But there was a huge conversation on my Twitter a while back being like, no, you can't. It's not possible to date outside of your race and be pro-Black if you are a Black person.
Really?
Yeah.
But that speaks more to that individual than like, that person is interracial. People who date interracial are not a monolith. No one is.
Well, clearly they were putting their own thoughts
right
on me, but they were saying like, well, you're giving resources to non-Black people, and I was like, well, every Black person in America gives resources to non-Black people.
Yeah, unless
you're exclusively shopping at Black stores, you're only if blah 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 yada yada. But also that is to insinuate that I'm also not receiving any. That's also to insinuate that in this relationship, I'm the only one giving anything.
Yeah. And
that I'm not also receiving something.
Yeah, you get
as well.
You get blowjobs.
I do get blowjobs.
Pussy, you get some booty hole.
I do. I get all that stuff. And me and Jacob, more so than me and Ezra, Jacob and I have a working relationship. We are partners, but we're also like co-workers in the Bob the Drag Queen business, between the podcast and the social media and mostly just those two things, but every once in a while other things as well.
Could you date someone who was not pro-Black?
No.
Right. Impossible.
No.
I mean, I'm sure it exists. Jacob was like, oh, am I? I'm sure it exists. I'm sure there are people who date people. I know for me, I could not date interracially if that person was not pro-Black. It literally would not work.
I couldn't date a Black person that wasn't pro-Black.
Right. Yeah, true.
But it's also be fair that it's based on my definition of pro-Black.
But what is your like pro-Black is pro-Black? How do you mean your definition of pro-Black?
Well, I mean, I think everyone has a different definition of pro-Black. So I'm saying if someone does not meet my standards of what it means to be pro-Black, then we wouldn't be able to date. But I don't have a broad, because this other person's definition was you cannot give any resources outside of the Black community and be pro-Black. I don't share
their definition is flawed because they do not live and only.
I don't know their life. I don't know what those people do. They might live off the land. I have no clue. I literally don't know what they do.
Fair.
It is probably a safe assumption because they were tweeting from an iPhone.
That was
fucking or an Android. So unless they were tweeting from some Black owned cell phone company that I don't know about, then chances are.
And do you ever like tiptoe talk around your partner because they're not Black?
No. I will say this. I do not tone down my Blackness around Jacob or Ezra. I do not code switch.
Right.
When I met Jacob, I was saying the N-word. I still say it to this day. I was eating the same foods I eat now. Maybe I eat a little more brisket and challah than I used to eat, and more tacos and tortas than I used to eat back in the day. But to be fair, I was not bringing a culinary experience to my cook.
Domino's.
It's not like I was bringing a culinary experience, but and also I think that I am someone who, quote, I'm using air quotes if you're really listening. I do sound black. Like
Same.
people hear me and they're like, "Oh, that's a black guy. That's a black gay guy."
Yeah.
As soon as they hear my voice, like that's a black gay guy talking.
Yeah.
And and around your parents, I don't think I like tone it down or change. I actually did play a very interesting clip from Clara's Heart last night.
You did.
And Jacob's parents were like, "Whoop."
I know. Bob is wild.
Oh.
It was a clip when Neil Patrick Harris calls Clara a nigga.
Yeah, that was a gag. Girl.
Child. Anyway.
Child, anyway. So.
Yeah, same. I even in my previous interracial relationship, one now I say the jokes that I say. I be niggering up and down in my daily speak. It's just how I speak. I can't. I would not be able to be free and live a happy life if I could not be my authentic self.
I think that in 2020, Jacob and Ezra both actually showed a lot of behavior that felt like affirming to be able to date them.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember
but I remember Jacob at that damn protest, child. I said, look at little Jacob, little sign.
Yeah, Jacob out there covered in sunscreen, sweating. Oh God, it's so hot. Just like walking around.
I live.
And and Ezra went to protest as well. And I also talked to both of them about race and I do have a lot of conversations about race in my day-to-day life. And I really think it does actually. I'd be lying if I said I was not hurt by the comments, especially coming from Black people who insinuate that I am not pro-Black because I date someone who's not Black.
Yeah.
It does hurt. It really does hurt.
For sure. I hate that. And I think it's so... It feels like they're trying to shame you in some way. Yeah. And because by them shaming your experience dating an interracial person, they're getting some type of retribution from it. It makes them feel good.
Well, I think there is a lot of time where a lot of people do this and it's not... And to be fair, I have done this before too.
What?
Negating someone else's Blackness by saying like so-and-so's not Black. Like a lot of people, like sometimes people do it to Candace Owens. Sometimes people do it to Christian Walker. People have done it to O.J. Simpson, Raven Simone.
I feel like with those people though, the reason, and again,
no, I get why they're doing it, but it's the same thing, just on different scales. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just that it's just obviously much more dramatic with Candace Owens, Christian Walker, and even at some point O.J. Simpson, Orenthal James Simpson. But that does not. It doesn't make them not Black.
Yeah.
Like, is Candace Owens messy? Yes. Is she problematic? Yes.
I ain't claiming that hoe.
Well, whether you claim her or not, I ain't
saying she's not Black. I said I'm not claiming her.
Oh, well, she is a Black person.
She is. She is Black as hell.
She's a dark skinned Black woman,
whether she wants to admit it or not.
And
has she ever said that she's not Black?
I don't follow Candace Owens.
Same. I don't know.
So I don't know if she's ever said she's not Black.
Yeah.
But that sounds like something she would say. Also,
I want to clarify something when we talk about Raven Simone, I literally never said anything about Black. I quoted her directly and she said, "I'm not African American. I'm American." That's what I said.
People say online.
People are like, "Monet, Raven Simone never said she's not Black." I literally listened to the episode. I never said that. People love to say that I say shit on here that I literally did not say. I was like, "Did I say that?" I listened. I was like, "I did not say that." She said, "I am not African American. I'm just American." That's what I said, which is what she said. Anyway, can you name any famous all Black couples?
You mean like between the two of them?
Yeah, the two.
Queer couples.
Oh, queer couples.
All Black queer couples.
Oh.
Who are like notable and famous.
Oh, the guys from the show on Netflix. They're really popular show where they're stylists. I don't know their names though. They're both Black.
I don't know that show either. What? I don't know that show. What?
Michelle and Barack.
They're not queer.
You don't know that. You don't know how they identify. You don't know what Barack and Michelle identify as.
Oh God,
you don't.
You're right. I don't know.
Have you asked them?
I don't know that Michelle and Barack have come forth and come out as a heterosexual cisgender couple, and I am assuming their gender. And, well, I think Barack has said that he's a man before.
Yeah, Michelle says she's a woman. Was Queen Latifah and her partner?
Queen Latifah is not out, Monet.
Well, bitch, I don't have any inside information. I'm just going on what I see on the fucking TV. On the
Queen Latifah has never.
Okay, well, bleep the names then. But I mean,
No, keep it in. Let Queen Latifah come whoop that ass. UNITY.
Cleo gonna set it off in here.
That spells unity. There's also Niecy Nash and her wife as well. But I do want to acknowledge there are lots of interracial famous.
Just because we can't name any of them,
Right? There's Billy Porter and
Jacob trying to get it.
there's Billy Porter and his husband.
But he's white.
He's there. I'm talking about the interracial ones. Billy Porter and his husband, Ray Paul. RuPaul and his husband,
Shea Coulee and her
partner, me and my partner, Asia O'Hara and her partner.
Yeah.
There is so let's take a step back and ask ourselves, why do we think so many famous
queer
black people are dating white people? And I think that the problem, because I don't want to trivialize the issue that people have with it. I don't want to say that it's just like them being like, it's so weird. Why is it weird?
Yeah.
I think it feels to them like the black community is losing something.
Yes.
If a black person is dating someone who's not black.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that's what it is.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
They feel like we lost a good one or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of like how would it say, like when like women would find out that a man was gay, they're like, oh, we lost one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do you think so many famous or well-to-do whatever black people date white people? What do you think it is?
Queer, specifically queer. I let me speak from a queer experience.
Let's fuck them cis heads.
That's what I can speak from. I think for me, it was finding someone. The people who I've dated who were outside my race is just finding people who I was open to everything. Again, dating as a drag queen for me was difficult, and it's something that I think is very specific. Not a lot of people can handle dating a drag queen. It's a lot to date. You're basically dating two people, and you have to deal with someone who is not flirting with people, but you're in a job that is sexual.
Oh, I'm more than flirting with her. Jacob, was it hard to date a drag queen, Jacob?
No.
That was convincing.
Damn, Jacob drag man.
I think it's hard to date a drag queen. I think for the people who I have dated, I just found that compatibility and someone who felt comfortable with that, and someone who didn't let the fact that I dressed up as a woman for work made them feel weird.
I'm glad you said woman, because you ain't never dressed up like a lady. That's for goddamn sure.
And I think anytime I found a partner, whether it be black or someone who's not black, it's just been someone who is just very comfortable with that, and someone who is happy to date me. I was dating people who were happy to be with me, and I think before that I was dating people who wanted something, whether it was sexually or whatever.
Well, I mean, your partner now wants something sexual from you.
This is true, but it wasn't only that. There were more things.
You felt like the past relationships were mostly sexual?
No, not mostly sexual, but if not sexual, there was one specific thing that I think that I was offering that they wanted.
What was the thing? Is it a secret? Your anus?
Can you just leave it at what I said? One thing.
Oh, I'm just asking. This
okay,
is a podcast
and I said just leave it at that.
Is this one of the weird one of those weird secret? This thing about Monet will be open about the craziest things, and then I'll mention one thing, and Monet will be like, "That is where I draw." And I'm trying to respect your wishes. You don't want me to talk about whatever this thing is. I can't even avoid it because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm trying to avoid this weird thing.
I'm just it's because I'm wondering whether it be like cloud or whether it was.
Oh, you mean different things, different people?
Yeah,
I thought there was like one thing.
No,
offered
different
they
things are different people. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I was so confused. I was like, what is this thing? What do you are? Do I need to eat some of it?
I have the Infinity Stones. They want the stones.
I am inevitable. One left. You remember that there was a famous clip on TikTok of
why you become Yoda?
there's a clip on TikTok of like you do the face shift thing and the camera pans around and then it's Thanos' voice going, one to go. And I had a thing and it said when I break up with one of my boyfriends and it just goes, one to go.
Wow, Bob.
Oh, that's so funny. But back to, so let's discuss why is it such an occurrence? I think a lot of people think of it as, someone posted online, and I'm going to be paraphrasing. I can't remember quite what the person said. They were basically saying something like, they feel like Black people who get success or money would rather date but also this person was really basing it on like looks. They were like, they would rather date like an unattractive white person than date an attractive Black person.
I don't know what that even means.
Well, there were a lot of people like agreeing with them in the comments. They were like, you'd rather date a mediocre white man than date a fine ass Black man. And I'm like, I would never date someone because they're attractive. I would fuck someone because they're attractive.
Yeah.
I would never
date someone,
ever
marry,
date someone because they're attractive.
long term. Like the girl, that means nothing.
Yeah. I would never ever date someone just
but
because
also
they're
that is
attractive.
so subjective. Bitch, what is fine to you is fine to you. What's fine to me is fine to me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to, we don't have anyone here to offer their
Oh, yeah,
perspective.
we should have done that.
Maybe we can get someone on the show.
Amanda Seals would be great. We can have her talk about this.
I want a queer person.
Sure, a queer person.
Yeah, I ain't trying to get on straight people.
You don't know how Amanda identifies.
I do. She says she's straight.
Yeah, she's straight.
That I know. I don't know about Barack Obama, but I know about Amanda Seals, and I know.
Yeah,
she's straight.
yeah. I think it's an interesting thing, and
Oh my gosh, that might be a spicy episode.
like someone who,
If we find someone who has a problem with interracial relationships.
I'm sure.
Also, you know, who's always give me shit online
Who
is Asia O'Hara.
for dating?
No, whenever I would call out white people, she'd be like, "But isn't your boyfriend white?" And I was like, "So."
I'll call him out too.
Because I tweeted out one time, if I ever seem annoyed or irritated with white people, it's only because I'm annoyed and irritated with white people. And then she was like, "Isn't your boyfriend white?" She more like, "Isn't your boyfriend white?" I can't do her Texas accent.
Yeah.
"Isn't your boyfriend?" I can't do her accent. Anyway,
Bob will say he can't do it and then proceed to do it 4 more times.
I was trying. I try my best.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Try to talk like Asia.
I can't talk like Asia. I don't know.
Monet, you canceled.
Yeah, that's very her. That's her.
Anyway,
That's her cadence, but not the sound.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think that she was insinuating that I can't call out issues with whiteness and date a white person.
Yeah.
Which I don't think like that.
Oh, agreed.
That's just not how my brain works. And I'm also talking about whiteness as an institution more than
a specific
whiteness as a social construct.
Yeah.
And the commonality amongst white people.
Yeah.
From that social construct and the privileges and that they get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, what? I'm a few months into my relationship with Andy, and we've already talked about things like that. And because you know, at the beginning, you start saying a few things just to see how they're gonna react. And I'm like, okay, you passed the test.
Well, I have a friend who basically they were both white, but he was doing like him and this guy were like dating, and then the guy was basically like
all lives matter.
It was something that he was like. At some point, he and the guy were talking, and the guy was like, "Well, I actually don't think that Donald Trump's that bad," or it was something Donald Trump said, and he was like, "I don't think you know what I'm talking about." He was like, "I can't remember what he said."
Say the name and bleep it. I just wanted to know who it is.
It was you, Jay. You really got to bleep this.
He always does. Got it.
I was dating this guy from Orange County. Bleep where he's from too, and then actually I don't care. He's dating this guy from Orange County, and then was like annoyed by something Trump did, and he was like, "I think that maybe we should try to see it from other perspectives." Like,
right,
bitch, what? And they broke up and just stopped dating.
On the second date, you're like, yeah, because like Black Lives Matter.
Have you seen that guy on TikTok?
No.
He goes when he's testing the water. He's like, I'm just looking for the gender neutral bathroom.
Donald Trump sucks.
Yeah, I'm so glad this place is wheelchair accessible. But yeah, that is my I mean, just from the discourse I've seen online. But what I do think what does alarm me is that like online, it feels like that is the general consensus amongst Black people. But I think what it is a lot of the Black people who feel passionately about never dating a white person or a person or specific white people are just very, very vocal. And the people who are like, I would date a white person are just kind of like, whatever.
What is it about black people only want to date black people that feels okay good? But when you hear like a white person that only wants to date white people,
Oh, that's insane.
I'm like,
that is insane. You're in the KKK. If you are a white person, if you're a black person and you're like, I only date black people, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean,
I get it.
I'm like, I'll date anyone that I find attractive that I have a connection with. But if you're a white person, you're like, I would only,
bitch.
I'd be like, you're in the KKK. You're the Grand Wizard. You have a sheet with holes poked out for the eyes. You've been to a cross burning.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, oh really, nigga?
Because like, what are they? Why? Like, what do you?
Right. It just does not sit well with my spirit.
Like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
It's racist. There's no other way to put it. It's racist. That's racist. What? It also seems to insinuate that like anyone who's not white isn't attractive. Or, and I don't mean just physically, but I mean like on an emotional level or romantic level, you cannot experience attraction to anyone unless they're white.
To me, what it
which is very strange.
To me, what it is you're saying that you're trying to preserve whiteness, and in preserving whiteness, you're preserving all the problems that this entire globe has faced because of whiteness.
It's very Aryan Nation.
Yeah.
It very sounds like someone who's trying to save the white race.
Right.
Dating?
What?
The only way to really get rid of white people
is the interracial date, girl. Blur the racial lines, girl.
The only way to get rid of white people is to fuck them out of existence. Hear me out. We're talking about the long game. If we use our black dicks and our black pussies to have some brown black babies, we can wipe out oh my God, hear me out. Listen to me, y'all. I'm not saying marry. I'm not saying marry. I'm not saying date. We have to fuck white people out of existence. This is our only chance. If you think about the math, listen to me right now. Asia is 2/3 of the globe. Asia is 2/3 of the entire globe. Asians alone have the ability to completely fuck white people out of existence. And you know these white men cannot say no to these Asian women. This is it. This is how we do it.
Girl. Fuck them out of existence.
I'll do my part.
No, I'm not doing mine.
I'll do my part.
I mean, I'll y'all can borrow some semen.
You gonna drop it off in a jug?
Yes. Oh, honey, you bitch, you give me a week, honey. You have enough semen to fertilize me.
Yeah. Or you just go down to the just go down to the sperm bank and just lie on your. My name is Carl Smith, and I love golfing, and I am white, and I don't want any misunderstandings about that. That would be okay. Just for we would never falsely document our sperm at a sperm bank. Just
I would not do that. But yes, I think one day we should do it with our boyfriends to get their perspective about what it is to date someone who's black.
Yeah, and I definitely want to have a white person who doesn't think it's okay.
Oh yeah, bitch, we should like a panel. It's you, me, each of our partners, and maybe I guess two people who are opposing, so it doesn't feel like 4 against 1.
Well, I would actually rather that panel be a black discussion amongst black people, because it seems like, because I think what I find more interesting is the conversation amongst black people, because I think what it is, when it is white people saying that kind of stuff, I just write them off as racist.
This is true.
And when it's black people, I'm like, I understand why you would say this.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the nuance behind this conversation.
Yeah.
But when someone is just like overtly racist in that way, I'm like, oh, you're done. You're unreachable. When a white person says they only want to date white people, I view that as very problematic. It sounds very racist. It sounds like you sound like a white supremacist. You sound like a member of the Aryan Nation. You sound like you're trying to save whiteness, which I don't think needs to be saved.
Right. But with a black experience, it's like it is understandable why you may have trauma or be averse to dating someone who is who is white.
Yeah, and I think that I understand that as a black person because I have a black experience and I do have trauma with white people.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you can't be black and American and not have trauma with white people.
There's no way. It's impossible.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if you,
If you do, I mean, maybe some people do.
I'm sure Candace Owens and Christian Walker would say they have no trauma.
No
with
trauma
white
with white people.
I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just no way Christian Walker grew up in Texas and has no trauma with white people.
Girl.
But also, he's very wealthy. His father's a famous football player. Like, he just has a different experience.
Do you think his dad be looking at his TikTok like, oh my God?
No, his father is a huge Trump supporter. His father's like into it.
Work.
And his father's very pro-gay, apparently.
Work.
You have to be for some Christian Walker.
Hello.
Son of Christian Walker.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I have a shared experience with those black people that makes me see like, but you know, I'm not white, so maybe those white people have some weird experiences that are traumatizing to them with black people or whatever their fucking thing is. I don't know. I'm sure in their minds they have justified why it's
so.
right. I cannot see it from their perspective because I don't share that insight. I'm not saying they're right, but I'm saying maybe that's how they've justified the concept in their mind in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I think that because I've had moments in my life where I, in a moment, didn't want to be around any white people, I can see why someone, as a black person, wouldn't want to date a white person.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's worth a further look into that to see why you feel that way and unpack that.
Amanda talked about this a lot. I really want to get her to talk about this too. She's talked about a lot on her own channel.
Well, Amanda loves us. I'm sure she would love to.
I love Amanda Seals.
Your hands are so pale.
So I'm saying that you wanna push me to whiteness so bad.
They are pale.
Sorry.
Well, your face just has so much more color than your hand.
You want me to be white so bad.
I want you to be whatever you are. Are you African or are you African American? Are you African American or are you American? Which one is it?
I'm neither. I'm West Indian American.
Wow. Do you not identify as African American?
No,
Look at the camera and say it.
I know I am African American. My
No,
people.
no. Whoa. Are you African American?
I'm West Indian American.
Are you African American?
I'm West Indian American.
I would like for you to answer with a yes or no, if possible. Are you African American?
I'm West Indian American. You said if it's possible. I'm West Indian American.
It's not possible to answer with a yes or no?
No.
Okay, you're West Indian American. We can all agree on that. Now let's talk about you as an African American.
Oh yeah, I'm African American.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
You almost gathered that ass.
There's this TikTok of this guy talking about like the different groups of Latin Americans, and I was like, he introduced like some things I didn't even know were a thing.
What do you mean?
Like Trigueño Latino people. Do you know what that is?
No.
I don't want to fuck it up. I don't even know. But just like 8 different Latin, not just like black Latin people and white Latin people, but like there's like 8 other different things. I was like,
well, I found out in Mexico recently that roughly 25% of Mexicans identify as indigenous Americans.
right, and that's one of them. There was indigenous, there was Trigueño, and there were like 3 other things he said. And I was like, I hadn't even heard of these names.
And a lot of Mexicans like share like genealogy and with like the U.S. American tribes as well. Because I mean, there's really nothing separating.
Oh yeah, it's
Mexico
right there, girl.
And the United States of America.
Yeah, you could have been tricking in New York and tricking in Mexico City.
Tricking who? Like fucking?
Hoes, yeah.
Oh, I could have been, and I might have been.
Not you.
But yeah, so I think that anyway, yeah, I just learned a little bit about that myself. Do you think we're gonna get canceled for this episode?
Probably. Cerso's gonna pop up, and Cerso's gonna let us have it, girl.
I mean,
We probably will, especially I can predict now what the bombshell is gonna be about the black people dating white, but white people only want to date each other. Oh, white people are gonna be mad about that one.
white people?
Yes,
Wait, mad about me saying what?
that white people only wanted to date white people is problematic.
I don't think our listeners will find a problem with that. Not our listeners.
I think somebody will.
I mean, if you are listening to our channel and you engage in notions of white supremacy, like you're not in a safe place. I'm just gonna say that right now. You are just in a very unsafe place. You have very few supporters here, and it's not going to end well for you. I think that maybe people might be mad when I'm saying like maybe some white person who thinks that they might have trauma with black people. That's why they don't date black people. But I also don't. I'm just guessing why.
Yeah, because you're not white. You
someone
can't
would
speak
try
to that.
to, you know,
Yeah.
think that way. I'm just trying to reverse think from the perspective of a black person.
Yeah.
And see maybe that's why a white person is, you know, thinking that way. You heard about Liam Neeson?
No.
Liam Neeson's sister was assaulted by a black person,
Oh yes.
and Liam Neeson was like walking around
Kill-
saying
like,
like
fucking-
if I see a black person, I'm
I'm
gonna
killing
like
him.
kill them.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's from like wherever he's from. Where's he from? Ireland,
I
Scotland.
don't know where the fuck he's from.
He's Ireland. He's Irish. So
Ireland.
he probably just went months without seeing a black person, then he got over it.
There's this one black Irish TikToker. Have you ever seen her? She has like she's gorgeous black girl. And to see this black girl from Ireland with this Irish accent, it's such a mind fuck.
You know who the Irish black TikToker I'm obsessed with? He's so hot. He's just like, he is hot.
Who?
I gotta find him. He is his name is I feel like his name sounds like a Muppet. Like I feel like he shares a name. Like his name is like Elmo or something. What's his name? Shaq.
Shaq?
His name is Shaq.
What is the Elmo name about that?
I don't know. I messed it up. But he's just so cute.
He's black?
Yeah, he is. He was your favorite mixed gender. Hit up the Instagram. He's Jamaican and British.
It's so weird to hear people say that because Irish people say it's like calling someone mixed is like a slur.
I'm just reading.
I know, but a lot of, I guess, you know, it's their term to use. So
we grew up saying mixed.
Yeah, I grew up saying mixed too. I didn't realize it was a bad thing.
But I also know people grew up saying way worse stuff than that. So
Right.
Just because you grew up saying something does not make it okay to say. But what I do know is that this guy identifies as mixed. I read it off of his thing. His words, not mine.
Okay.
So if we're canceled, which I don't think we will. I'm to be honest.
I know. Bob. I genuinely don't care about being canceled. You every day online, you are one send. You are one post from being canceled on something. And people,
Me?
And everyone. Remember, you ever heard about that guy who he was on a flight going to South Africa, and then he literally tweeted like,
yeah, I'm headed to Africa. Hope I don't get Ebola and die.
Bitch, by the time he landed, he was fired. He was
in high school.
No, but he had like a high school job. He was fired from a high school job.
Oh.
He was like done. He couldn't get into his college. It was like crazy. By the time he landed, it was wild. But you are one post away from being canceled into existence.
Yeah, imagine posting a problematic tweet, getting on a plane, and then get off the plane and being like, "Oh my god,
Girl.
this is crazy."
Girl.
I mean, I don't personally think that I've ever done anything cancel worthy, but I think that the standard for what it means to be canceled has gotten much lower over the years.
Or like lower, like easier.
It's easier to do, yeah.
happen. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, I love you very much, and thank
I
you.
feel strongly about you as well.
Thank you for having this conversation with me, and let's have a follow up. Let's try to do it soon, Jacob. All right, bye everybody.
You don't get
Cut
to
the
say,
cameras.
No,
Cut the
this
cameras.
is not
In
your
3,
cameras. This
2,
is our
1,
podcast.
cut
It's
it.
not yours.
And
this
Jay,
is
if
ours.
you didn't cut it back
It
then,
is
I will
ours.
never talk to you again.
Okay, well, I guess we'll be ready to never talk to Jay ever again.
I will, Jay.
Be ready to never
and
speak to Jay ever again.
don't try to call me. If this makes it in, we're done.
No, we're not. Okay, now we're done. Have a good night, everyone.
Jay, if you end it there, we're going to have a very real problem.
Have a good night.
You better end it somewhere in the middle. Cut one of us off.